So, there was a small hotfix today. They are back from a lockdown and a state holiday with more fixes and bugs. So that's awesome. So that's why there hasn't been with more bugs. No, bug fixes, okay? Not bugs. So they fix some. There are some quest fixes, of course. There are some duplicates, so the list is not as long as it seems. There are actually duplicates for some things, but some quest fixes, area fixes, doesn't matter. Not too big fixes in Crusade mode from what I've seen. Lilith to Demons had 8 claw attacks instead of 4. I don't know, like, why they had, like, did they already fixed this? So this is what I mean, that there are some lines in the patch that was already in other patches. So I can say that, then does it mean that the previous patch didn't work? Or these are just like filler lines, which were a mistake or anything, but doesn't matter. Like, it's like, I have no idea. Anyway, like, also something that's in the Crusade mode is also here. So there are some filler lines in the patch notes, at least. But there are some fixes that I think are worth talking about. For example, apparently Haliceliax on your side dealt damage to you, which now not, so that's cool. Swarm that walk fix for clones, which will probably affect us on this playthrough. Constitution bleed can now be removed even from a fully healed character. So that's a good change. So you don't get the damn debuff that's really hard to remove in a Lucian era. Quarry apparently didn't fix very well, but didn't work very well. And Demon gets some change. Demon gained major demonic aspect at wrong levels, so Demon apparently gets better. I don't know if it's later or earlier. They don't say that. And Demon gets Demon Kind on the 5th mythic rank, not on 7, which I don't know what that means, and I don't want to spoil myself, but Demon gets something 2 mythic levels earlier. So that's a pretty damn big change. Whatever that is. That's a pretty damn big change. So good for Demons. If we're gonna see shit like that in the game in the future, that's awesome. Like balances. So I don't know what it is, because I haven't played Demon yet and I don't want to spoil it, but that sounds like a big change. Now let's go on the most important part, in my opinion, of this patch, which is in turn-based combat, which still sucks because I wish it was real-time. You're going Demon for your first playthrough, so that's nice for you. Solar, that's awesome. It should work somewhat. And I would be the last person to encourage people for something else, but I'm not sure if Demon is... Like, I heard that Demon might not be the best first playthrough because the story changes and it has some issues here and there. So keep that in mind. It's still very good and it works. But after doing multiple playthroughs, at least I can say Angel, Aeon, maybe Lich are very, very viable playthroughs. Everyone recommends Angel, just in case. That's just if you want to have perfect experience. Keep in mind that Demon is apparently one of the a little bit buggier mythic paths right now, is all I'm trying to say. But go for it, because a lot of people completed it, so it must not be that bad. I'm sure. But just to temper the expectations. So big changes in turn-based mode. So combat could get stuck if the mount was sickened while rider was not and attempted an attack that required movement. So that's not just with Sickened, that actually happens with a lot of things. But that's cool at least, because I think we experienced this bug multiple times in the last few days. I'm not sure it was Sickened. It was any other CC as well, I think. Like, any other CC, I think, could make that happen. And there's still those bugs where companions just can't... and some companions actually can just stop attacking overall. So it's not just for mounts. Added another check to prevent charge ability from being used if the mount doesn't have enough actions. That's more like an exploit fix, so that doesn't affect us too much, and I never really had that problem. Mounts did not react correctly to noticing hidden objects while moving in turn-based mode. Actually, okay, I never did that in turn-based mode. But here we go. Charge ability could fail if used to initiate turn-based combat. That's if I mean, I'm skeptic, but if it's fixed, then that means now you should be able to always charge into combat. So fingers crossed. In turn-based mode, if the mounted animal companion didn't have the line of sight on the target, its movement could be interrupted and it could get stuck. Now, this is something I'm pretty sure we have encountered yesterday in Blackwater, so that also would be nice. Damn, a lot of bugs we encountered yesterday are getting fixed. Well, at least it's said to be fixed. So, this is another thing, like, I'm curious if it's really going to work better, but mostly there are lots of charge fixes. I don't know what the prediction bar is at mounts. I think that's the movement. Mounts would attempt a full attack even if they couldn't deliver it, but the rider could. This is an interesting fix because this is fixing an exploit in a way, I guess, or a positive bug. I'm surprised that they fixed this, but they haven't fixed the opposite, which I'm a little bit sad about because, like, that's a little bit that's a bigger problem than this. Like, don't get me wrong, fixing something that's a little bit better is, you know, that's also fair. But I have a feeling that they should first focus on things that actually work worse than things that work better. Because they fixed this, but they haven't fixed the issue yet that if your character cannot do a full attack, but your mount can, then the mount is not going to do a full attack. Which I think, in my opinion, is a bigger problem. Though that's not in turn-based, and you can still select in turn-based, but that doesn't change the fact that it doesn't work in non-turn-based. So I'm happy that they are fixing things in turn-based, but at the same time, I'm criticizing that there are lots of these problems in real-time combat, and I personally, as someone who prefers real-time, would also like to see these changes in real-time combat, and not just turn-based. Which makes me a little bit concerned. I wonder if turn-based combat is so much more popular that most of the fixes are going to be around turn-based. But that's a different topic. Let's see. Okay, this is big. Thank you. Thank you. AoE spells showed wrong affected area. If that's true, thank you very much. Because ever since the release, AoE spells were showing, not like they were showing wrong, but like if you selected an AoE and it said it's not going to attack someone, they still got attacked. So it's not very, you know, that was pretty bad for anyone using AoE. So this is a great change if that's true. It was impossible to interact with some chests. Interesting. Ooh. Fix the visual for targeting the spells which aim as a direct line. Interesting. It was impossible to create a cross-bladed sorcerer. Oh, wait. You couldn't be a cross-bladed sorcerer before? Interesting. Let's see. Cone attacks no longer hit the targets they were not supposed to hit. Okay, that's another good thing. Someone said yesterday that they were doing a cone attack on mounts and it would still attack the mount itself. Which is that's a great, like, this is funny because most of the bugs we mentioned yesterday and we talked about are actually in the patch, which is awesome, right? Like, that's what a coincidence. The first was what a coincidence. Second, this is pretty awesome. So thank you. Then let's see. Fix the issue with inability to pause the game. We also had this bug. We also had this the last few days. Lots of bugs are being fixed that we encountered on the stream. So this is great. We disabled the selection of the mount when it has a rider on. Now clicking on the mount will select the rider, and the mounted animal can only be selected via its portrait. This is done to avoid selecting mounts by accident. This, as it sounds very insignificant, but I think this is important for a reason. And I don't know if this is mostly for people who play in real time with pause with me. It could happen that you encounter, like, you start an encounter and you want to run back with everyone, and then you mass select the party and run back, and everyone will run back except the mounted player, because the mounted player it counts as 2 characters, and for whatever reason the selection is buggy there, and the horse would continue attacking even though you told the rider to come back. So I don't know if this actually fixes that, but I hope this is the fix for it, that now if you select everyone, it's going to select the character that actually controls the mounted movement, so you really will fall back. Animal companions now help scouting for new locations in the global map. Okay, that's a big thing because so wait, their perception didn't matter. Okay, that's a big one. Improve the performance after battles. What does that mean? Some dead creatures were falling down again upon loading a save. Forced to relive their agony over and over again. Fix that and put them to rest. Interesting. You hope it means it improves the lockup and turn-based every time combat ends or something dies. Would be nice, but it says specifically after battles. Well, we'll see. Performance updates are always awesome. Hey there, Tupa. Maybe they fixed the lag after battles in big dungeons. Was there that big lag? I don't remember anything like that. Sakil, hello, hello. Your Dresden yesterday kept getting worse and worse. I mean, yeah, like, I think it's an easier question, like, what actually works well performance-wise? I'm sorry. No offense, of course, but I guess that's a better question. Like, what doesn't have bad performance? But they're fixing things, so that's cool. All right, so that's the patch they released